everybody, welcome to my channel. This is Tlangi. It feels amazing to be able to say these words again. It's been a long time. Yeah, if there was a fine I had to pay, I was definitely going to pay a hefty fine. But I'm so glad that I'm back, and I think it feels so good to be back with something that grounds you and something that anchors you, because it's something that I've been battling with my YouTube videos. So for me, I always wanted to have something that identifies me. I always wanted to have something that I can stay consistent with. You know, you don't want to come on YouTube with this, the next week be that. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I always felt like if I do not discover who I am and what I need to do and what this channel is going to be about, then I'm going to have subscribers who are going to be pissed off in a month's time when they realize that how Tlangi is no longer the person that we thought she was, or this is not what we subscribed for. So we're unpacking that in today's video, and we are talking about going through an identity crisis. I'm going to be sharing my story, and I hope that some of the elements will resonate with you and some things will be freeing to you. There's so many things I've picked up and so many things I've learned as the months went by and I was not producing any content for YouTube. There's something interesting about life. Life will always do what it has to do. It will do what it needs to do. Whether you're on board or you're not, it doesn't matter, it doesn't care, it's going to do it. And that is frustrating. It's frustrating because some of us are naive about life. Some of us know that we are talented, but we are not putting in the effort that we know we should be putting in order for us to be what we need to be. So it's like you have a facade of who you think you are, and that is the facade that you present to people. So when people ask about who you are and stuff like that, you tell them that this is who I am, I can do this, I can do that. But behind the scenes, you're not even putting in the effort, you're not even nurturing those talents, you're not even doing the work. And I've noticed it's from that phase that you now start realizing that maybe I shouldn't bother. Maybe I shouldn't bother with a YouTube video, because I'm going to sit here and talk, and the things that I'm going to talk about are the things that I'm not even living, are the things that I'm not even practicing. It's good to talk, yeah, but to practice and put in the effort is something different. I've watched so many motivational videos where they'll tell you what to do, they'll tell you how to go about your day, they'll tell you that it's the small things that count. And I know this very well. In my relationships, this is all what I always stress. It's the small little things that count that eventually build up to the bigger thing. However, it's fascinating that when we now need to apply that to ourselves, it suddenly doesn't feel like it. You know, maybe you were praying for something and maybe you got a part of it, but because that's not what you wanted the bigger thing, then you're not satisfied, you're not content with it, because you want the bigger thing, the whole package, and you just don't want it to come in those small packages or in stages, etc. So this year started and I was excited to be 30. I was looking forward to it because I was like, finally, I do not have to be classified in the 20s category. And I'm not saying this in a bad way, but you know how 20s get excluded in certain things, you know, I don't know, maybe the older generation feels like in your 20s you don't know where you're at, you don't know who you are, you're still trying to figure yourself out. It may be true for certain people, it was true for me. And it's interesting because we always think or feel like we know who we are, we know what life is, until you reach your late 20s or something happens that just shakes you and you realize I'm not in control of my life. I thought I was, but I'm not in control of my life. And I know other people may argue and say that, well, you are, but this is where I'm coming from. For me, I feel like everything that happens in the world is a symptom of what is happening spiritually. And I've heard so many pastors talk about this. Some of the life coaches I follow say this and talk about this a lot. And I realized that where I understood that concept of everything that happens in the physical realm is a symptom of what's happening in the spiritual realm, I get up on my prayer. I'm not someone who, I think, like I said earlier, I'm a lukewarm Christian. My relationship with God is lukewarm. And it's something that I've been working on. And sometimes it takes circumstances to teach us that. It takes being broken to teach us that. It takes us not having the thing that we thought we needed, or the ideal life that we thought we'll have at a certain age, at a certain stage. It takes that not happening for us to realize that we need God, for us to surrender and understand that rather God's will be done than your own will, and rather God's intentions for your life be fulfilled, because whatever God has planned for you, and wherever God is taking you, He's going to provide. And this is something that is always frustrating us. We want to take a big leap of faith. We want to change careers. We want to marry this person. We want to have the second child or the third child. Like, we just want to do things because that is what is in our heart desires. However, things that are in our heart desires are going to be fulfilled if they are aligned with what God wants us to do and the purpose that He has for us. And isn't that better to do something that tomorrow, if things go wrong, you can go back to God as the manufacturer of the whole ordeal and say, well, we are here now and He said I should be doing this, so how come A, B, C, D? And things are even quicker to get solved. Either you're going to have the strength to carry on or to pull through, or you're going to have peace that surpasses all understanding because you are positioned where God wants you to be, and you were obedient to take the steps to head in the direction where God needed you to be. In closing, I want to talk about the importance of obedience in who we are, in who we need to be, in who we need to touch, and in who we need to impact. All of us, if our friends could be asked or our relatives could be asked who we are, so many people will have different explanations. Some would say she's the one that prays for the team. Some would say she's our leader. Some would say she's a good servant. Some would say he's a good usher. So many things. We all have beautiful and wonderful attributes about ourselves that people could say if they were asked about ourselves. I've noticed that because of the way we are conditioned by society, sometimes we pretend to be someone that we are not, unaware. Some people, they are aware. Some people are good at that, and that is manipulation. Please do not do that. But some people, you're unaware. You want to fit in, you want to be liked, you want to be the one that people come to, the one that people talk to, particularly if people are always praising you all the time, or people have a long list of good things to say about you. It's like you have that pressure within yourself to fulfill that, to aspire to be that all the time. So you can't have bad days. You can't have a day where you are feeling down. When people greet you, you must still take the same energy. You must still be like, hey, how are you? It's lovely to see you. And sometimes that is not the energy you want to bring out. But you know that if you don't be that person, people are going to judge you. It took me understanding that if we fail to be vulnerable about what we're going through, then we cannot receive the help that we need. We cannot. Sometimes we feel like people relate to us more because of that bubbly personality that we have. But you being vulnerable could be teaching someone that it's not always roses and glitter and gold. Sometimes it's okay. It's okay to break down. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to not have things figured out. It's okay to not be the person that people identify you as. Guys, we go through so many stages in life. We learn we unlearn. Some of us eventually realize that we are bossy. You know, we have certain characteristics that we wouldn't want our friends to have, or we wouldn't want our partners to have, or we wouldn't want our children to have, but we have them. And the minute you realize that I have a role to play in everything, I have a role to play in how things turn out. And I'm saying a role to play in how things turn out because I'm referring to how you react. We cannot change things. If the sun is going to rise at 5 the following day, it will rise at 5. There's nothing we can do about that. But it will be up to us to say that, okay, if it's going to rise a little bit earlier, that means I need to sleep earlier so that I can have enough sleep, so that the following day I'll be fine with waking up earlier when the sun rises. Let's say this is your routine. Maybe you have a morning routine where you wake up at 5 and or 3 or 6 or 7 or 12 or 1 p.m. doesn't matter, whichever one it is. So in closing, I want to say that it's okay to go through an identity crisis. It's okay to feel like you knew who you were and you don't know who you are tomorrow or next week or next month, because every phase of our lives is going to require a different us. It's going to require different strength, it's going to require different talents, it's going to require different expertise. And if we're going to hold on and hog to who we think we are or to who people think we are, then we are missing out on where life is taking us. You know, it's just like in an ocean when a wave comes through. Surfers know that if it's a wave that is this big, then I need to change the technique and I need to ride it in this way. If it's this small, then I can do A, B, C, D and still be okay. So let us surrender our lives to be led by God, to be led by His will, by His power, and let us be obedient to do what we need to do in every phase of our lives, because that is where we pick up the lessons. You know, some people always complain about, why is this happening to me? Why am I still stuck? Why am I here? But that is where we pick up the critical lessons that we need to elevate to the next phase. I'm so excited and happy to be back, and I look forward to doing more videos and engaging with everybody. Do take care and keep well. Bye bye.